Week 10 has arrived. Week number 9 recap is currently uploading on YouTube, and we already have a match for Week 10. I'm not complaining at all. It's just that do one thing for this league, and then another comes up, and it's like, what the fuck? Relax, guys. Give me a fucking break. It's 11 o'clock. I want to go to fucking bed. What are you fucking lax? Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. Right now we got the Kansas City Cartanas versus the Tampa Bay Infernapes to start off this week. Both the Infernapes did in fact clinch the playoffs last week. It's just a matter of where they are. They can be first, they could be third. I don't think they can get fourth because they beat both the Buffalons, myself, and the Magmitans. So there's no way that they can get fourth. But they can get third and they can get first. The Cartanas are number 1 in the blue division, and if I remember correctly, they clinch with a win, and I want to say a Gudra's loss, because Gudras are currently in 5th right now. That could very, very well change, but we'll definitely see. But anywho, actually, I can definitely be wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to start off with this battle. The Cartanas brought Exadrill, Alolan Muck, Tapu Lele, Alakazam, Mega Alakazam, excuse me, Regirock, Talonflame, Bronzong, Talonflame, and the Infernapes brought Bronzong, Heatran, Drifblim, Mr. Mime, Tapu Fini, and Excelgor. Oh, I don't know why that's so fast. Why was that so fast? Alolan Muck and Excadrill start off against Excelgor and Tapu Fini, bringing up that Misty Terrain, and we see the special defense boost on the Excelgor. Hydro Pump takes out the Excadrill first turn. Final Gambit's not able to take out the Alolan Muck as it takes out himself. Poison Jab not able to kill the Tapu Fini, but leaves it so low. Bronzong and Talonflame come out as Pursuit. Okay, is this really fast for anyone else? Like, this seems really faster than normal. What happens if I go to slow? But anyway, Pursuit takes out Tapu Fini. And Flare Blitz doesn't do a whole lot to Bronzong. The proving probably it is Heat-Proof Bronzong, which is a very nice bring on the Omega's part. Heatran comes out as Trick Room is also out. Psychic not able to do a whole lot to the Talonflame, but Knockoff's able to take out the Bronzong, which was holding the Kasib Berry, which honestly I don't know really what that does. Eruption takes out both Talonflame and Muck, putting Heatran at 15 kills this season. Drifblim comes out for the Infernape as Regirock, as well as Mega Alakazam come out. So Mega evolves and gets the Flare Boost ability as Heatran goes for Protect, as well as Drifblim for Protect. Now this seems really slow, like what the hell is going on here? And Mega Alakazam goes for Protect. That allows Regirock to go for the Earthquake, which is not going to do anything to Drifblim anyway, and Heatran doesn't get hurt at all as well. As we see the Flame Orb on the whatchamacallit Drifblim. Tapu Lele comes out, eats an Earthquake pretty nicely, but Heatran also takes it decently well. It lives on 21%, and Corkscrew Crash brings the Regirock down to its sturdy as Lele dies to a Shadow Ball from Drifblim, which that allows Mega Alakazam to come out after burn damage from the Drifblim, as we see leftovers on the Regirock. Goes for a Protect on the Heatran, as well Alakazam goes for Protect as well. Rock Slide not able to take out the Drifblim, however that does mean that Shadow Ball does not kill anything because of Protect as well. Because this is not unburdened Drifblim, that does mean that the Alakazam should be able to outspeed the Drifblim and go for a Psychic, which in fact takes it out. Unfortunately, Heatran tried to go for Double Protect, thinking that the Alakazam was going to go for him, but unfortunately it did not, and the Heatran dies to a Rock Slide, allowing Mr. Mime versus Mega Alakazam and the Regirock. Mr. Mime is able to live the Shadow Ball, but unfortunately dies to a Rock Slide, which takes it out, and the Kartanas win 2-0. Thank you guys for watching, and on to the next one. Hey y'all, welcome for battle number 2 for week number 10, and we have the Buffalo Buffalos taking on the Gainesville Goodras. Goodras brought Thunderous T, Jellicent, Garchomp, Mega Steelix, Aromatisse, Hitmontop, while the Buffalos brought Celesteela, Lantern, Clefable, Landorus, Cofagrigus, and Lurantis. Whole bunch of L's on my team. But anyway, let's get right into it. We have Hitmontop versus the Jellicent, Cofagrigus versus the Lantern. As we see the Intimidate helping the Lantris out a lot. It goes for a Fake Out on the Lantris, as well as a Taunt on the Cofagrigus, Flinch on the Lurantis, as well as no Trick Room from the Cofagrigus. Switches out into Clefable, doesn't know what he wants to do. As we see a Toxic and a Protect from the Jellicent as Knockoff, trying to get rid of the assumable leftovers. Predicting a mixed Steelix to want to come in, I switched into Landorus as Cofagrigus was then Toxic and Scald, as now Toxic Damage doing its thing. Fearing the worst, the Scald or something, I decided to go for a U-turn on the Hitmontop, switch out into Lantern, who gets hit by a Scald, trying to go for another knockoff, but unfortunately I was not able to the case. Now, 3 of my mons are now toxic. Aromatisse comes out, and I thought, oh, that's going to be screens again, so I decided to go for Heal Bell, curing the poison as Jellicent is yet again taunted as I try to go for a Trick Room. Very nice job there by Mandy, stopping me from going for my Trick Room. Hitmontop comes out yet again, goes for a Volt Switch on it, switching out into the Clefable, thinking that it's pretty safe, but Aromatisse goes for a Calm Mind as I try to knock off its Lathe Clay, but in fact it was leftovers, which is very unfortunate. I decided to switch out into Celesteela. I do not want a Aromatisse Calm Minding up on me even more. Flash Cannon actually comes out, which really shocked me, that's for sure. Hitmontop decides to switch out into Steelix, doesn't want to take a Moonblast from it, and I just decided to go for Follow Me on the Clefable and go for Heavy Slam on the Aromatisse. I do not want Celesteela to take a close combat, but that was not the case. Thunderous comes out as Steelix Mega Evolves. I go for another Follow Me in case it was like a Thunderbolt. I didn't really have too much to do, but Celesteela gets paralyzed, which isn't really that big of a deal because I am mid-speed. As I go for Continental Crush, but unfortunately she is sashed, not able to get the second kill of the game, and Earthquake is able to pick up the kill on Clefable. Landorus comes in as he goes for a Discharge, taking out my Celesteela, which allows my Landorus to do Earth Power, great damage to the Steelix, but he roars me out into the Lantern as I just go right back on my Landorus. Go for Rock Slide, get the sheer kill on the Thunderous as I go for a Scald on the Steelix, picking up the kill, going up 4-3 as Hitmontop and Garchomp come out for the Goodras. Goes for a Fake on the Lantern, fearing the Ice Beam as Garchomp goes for the Swords Dance, but in fact I have Hidden Power Ice on my Landorus, doing pretty good damage on the Garchomp, but Lantern is in fact flinched. Garchomp switches out into Jellicent, predicting the same thing, but he goes for an Earth Power this time, as well as a Toxic onto the Lantern with an Ice Beam on the Jellicent coming in again, as he does get the Freeze, which is unfortunate, but honestly I don't think it really matters too much. Hitmontop goes for the Protect as Earth Power takes out the Jellicent, trying to go for a Scald, trying to at least burn the Hitmontop so close combat doesn't do as much. Garchomp comes out trying to do as much damage as she can to the Lantern, but we have the Sugar Berry as Earth Power is able to take out the Garchomp and Toxic onto the Landorus, and this is where Scald does not burn, but it doesn't really matter because this is where she forfeits, and I win the game 4-0. That will do it for now, and we'll go on to the third battle in a second. Thank you. Alright guys, we are here for battle number 3 in week number 10, where we have the Rocky Mountain Lycanrocs taking on the Villa Tauros. The Tauros brought Goodra, Pelipper, Mega Swampert, Hariyama, Kabutops, and Genesect, with the Lycanrocs, Togekiss, Mew, Mega Lucario, Arcanine, Spinda, and Mega Audino. Oops, I don't want sound, I don't want sound, I don't want sound, I don't want sound. I'm sorry. We have Mega Lucario and Mew versus Pelipper and Goodra. Pelipper set up the rain. Goodra did not like that one to switch out into Hariyama as Mega Lucario Mega Evolves. It goes for a very scary Sword Stance and a Telekinesis, fearing the Goodra's Earthquake. I really like that play, but unfortunately it gets burned turn 1 with a huge Scald and goes for a Fake Out the same turn. Flinches as Mew goes for a Reflect. It doesn't matter as a Scald takes out the Lucario turn 2. Togekiss comes out as Hariyama did not like that, switches out into Goodra as they follow me and his light screen as he goes for a Toxic on the Mew. The Togekiss, excuse me. Toxic onto the Pelipper as well as onto the Mew, which Toxic the Goodra as well, poisoning all 4 Mons. However, a Heal Bell on Togekiss cures both the Togekiss and the Mew, but Defog gets rid of the pesky screens as Hydration helps the Goodra heal himself, only allowing Pelipper to finish that turn poisoned after all 4 of them were poisoned at once. Genesect switches in onto the Pelipper as a Sludge Wave hits both of the Mew and Togekiss. However, Light Reflect did come up, although it doesn't really help against the Sludge Wave, as Ice Beam does a pretty good amount. Air Slash does about 36% as well, as Sludge Wave brings the Togekiss down to 10%, as Poison on the Mew, but Hydration helps the Goodra after the Synchronize, as Leftovers brings it back up to 16, as that allows Genesect to go for the Ice Beam and takes out Togekiss on turn 7, and Sludge Wave again trying to get as much damage off on the Mew as he can, as it brings it down to 45%. Spinda comes out as Arcanine comes out yet as well. Spinda goes for his signature Scale Swap, getting the Intimidate again on both Goodra and Genesect, as Techno Blast brings it Spinda down to 40%, and Toxic brings it down to 34%. However, Arcanine does have free switching, goes for a skill swap again, getting Intimidate to Goodra, and a very nice play as now Arcanine is at +1 attack. However, Goodra lives to close combat, goes for the Toxic on Arcanine, which will probably not matter down the road. Fake Out onto the Arcanine makes it flinch, as another skill swap intimidates both the Hariyama and Goodra. Flinches on the Arcanine, and Dragon Tail forces the Arcanine to go out into the Mew, which is already toxic, as Spinda is now on 3%. Autono comes out as now Pelipper does as well, getting the rain back up, as a Toxic is not going to do a thing because Pelipper is already poisoned, as Brick Break gets rid of the screens, and now Mew is at 20%, but is now healed because of the Autono's healer. Baby Doll Eyes yet again, as Reflect goes out yet again, but killing the Mew in the process as well. Fling does not going to do a whole lot because of half attack and the Reflect as well. Spinda comes out yet again, switches out Arcanine, trying to do the same thing as last time. However, this time Hariyama goes for the Bullet Punch, taking out the Spinda, and Pelipper goes for the Scald, taking out the Arcanine, leaving it a 6 versus Autono, which Autono definitely would not like. Genesect comes out, gets the special attack boost, as Baby Doll Eyes yet again, bringing the Hariyama's attack to a third of its normal, getting rid of the screens, however, and switching out into Swampert, excuse me, as Technoblast takes out the Autono, and the Tauros wins 6-0, a very good showing again for the Tauros, and we're on to the next one we go. Hey guys, so we're here for the final 5 battles in the document update. There was one forfeit this week, and it comes to, who was it? Beedrill's forfeited against the Gligar's, so we'll go over that later. And with 5 battles in a row, my mouth is going to get dry, so I got water. That's what you guys heard at the beginning of this little section right here. I'm trying to be a little bit quieter, so I'm sorry if you can't hear me. It is kind of late, people are probably sleeping, and I don't really want to disturb them, but I kind of need to record this now before I get pretty busy in the next couple days. But anyway, let's get started with this, where we have the Solar Beams taking on the Heracross. Solar Beams brought Hoopa Unbound, Azumarill, Silvally, Jirachi, Mega Aerodactyl, and Magmar, while the Heracross brought Venusaur, Volcarona, Alolan Raichu, Necrozma, Mega Slowbro, and Doublade. We have Hoopa and Aerodactyl starting off against Raichu and Doublade. Mega Evolution right off the bat, and a Protect as well. Volt Switch is not going to do a thing to the Aerodactyl as Stealth Rocks comes up. Very nice play. Gyro Ball takes out the Aerodactyl first turn. That allows Magmar to come in, go for a Follow Me on the Volt Switch. Only does 17%. Switches out into the Volcarona, which does get hurt by rocks and just dies to the Hyperspace Fury. Gyro Ball is only doing 23% after that, and that allows Raichu to come back out, as Hoopa switches out into Jirachi as another Follow Me. Volt Switch does another 17%, switches out into Necrozma, which does get hurt by rocks, as Rock Slide's not able to kill the Magmar, but leaves it at 1%. Shadow Sneak does pretty good damage, as Toxic on the Necrozma will definitely help, as Heat Wave is able to crit but not kill the Doublade, as now Trick Room is up for the Heracross. Protect on the Magmar and Protect on the Jirachi, trying to stall out the Trick Room turns, as Rock Slide was not able to hit any of them, and Earth Power as well onto the Jirachi. Toxic damage doing this thing against the Necrozma as Jirachi switches out into the Azumarill as Follow Me again, but Shadow Sneak takes out the Magmar as Earth Power is able to crit but not do a whole lot against the Azumarill, which we see as Assault Vest, as now Hoopa comes out, goes for the Protect, as Gyro Ball is doing 27, pretty good damage, as Necrozma dies to the knockoff from the Azumarill, as allows Venusaur to come out. Hoopa switches out into Arceus, the Silvally, which gets hurt pretty badly from the Gyro Ball, as unfortunately Sleep Powder misses the Silvally, and Trick Room is now up, so now Heat Wave takes out both the Doublade and the Venusaur. Raichu comes out as well as Mega Slowbro, both of them getting hurt by hazards. Mega Slowbro Mega Evolves as Aqua Jet's not able to take out the Raichu, but Volt Switch is able to take out the Azumarill. That does allow Silvally to take out the Raichu with Rock Slide, as well as a flinch to the Mega Slowbro, which is very unfortunate. Rock Slide again only does 6%, but that allows Hyperspace Fury not to KO the Slowbro. But again, there's another flinch, so Arceus is hacked. But he does miss that time, but however, it doesn't matter because Hyperspace Fury takes out the Mega Slowbro. Next up, we have the Wild Meowth taking on the Magnemitans. The Wild Meowths brought Torkoal, Ribombee, Dusknoir, Victory Bell, Houndoom, Mega Houndoom, and Heliolisk, while the Magnemitans brought Tapu Koko, Politoed, Kingdra, Hitmonlee, Crocodile, and Moltres. Tapu Koko and Moltres start off against Torkoal and the Dusknoir. Pretty common lead for Tempest and the Wild Meowth. Koko switches out into Politoed, predicting a Eruption, but in fact is a Protect and Hurricane. Obviously not going to do anything, as Trick Room again goes for a Helping Hand on the Moltres, but a Sunny Day, Hidden Power, I want to say, I actually have no idea what it is. I want to say Hidden Power Electric, but I'm not entirely sure. Politoed switches out into Tapu Koko as a Helping Hand, Protect, and Eruption from the Torkoal. Excuse me, as a hiccup takes out the Tapu Koko. Hitmonlee comes out, and unfortunately he brought Electrium Z instead of Electric Seeds, as Thunder Punch takes out the Moltres. Protects the Torkoal from the Fake Out. That does allow Crocodile to come in and go for a Wide Guard on Hitmonlee, which is great because it does help against the Eruption, as Knockoff gets rid of the Casper in just one hit. Houndoom comes out as Politoed also comes out, getting the rain up. Switches out into Ribombee as he Mega Evolves. Goes for a Solar Beam, not going to do a thing, as Earthquake takes out the Houndoom with a crit. However, Ribombee basically came in for free. Goes for a Pollen Puff, not able to kill, but does 85 damage. We see the Papa Berry, which Thunder also gets rid of the Politoed, as a knockoff gets rid of the Assault Vest on the Heliolisk, but Dry Skin, as we see. As Kingdra comes out, goes for a Protect on the Crocodile, but unfortunately Draco Meteor misses the Heliolisk, as Thunder is able to hit the Kingdra. Switches out into Torkoal, gets the rain back up, knowing that Polly cannot Lucy cannot bring the rain back up. Draco Meteor's not able to kill the Torkoal, but Pollen Puff is able to kill the Crocodile. That allows Hitmonlee to come out. It is 4 against 2. Protect on the Torkoal, but it was actually a fake out on the Ribombee and was actually flinched too. Dragon Pulse not going to be able to do a thing to the Torkoal. Pollen Puff onto the Torkoal, it allows it to gain some health, but that allows it to lift the Dragon Pulse, but not the close combat that came right after, which now is a 2 on 3, as now Victory Bell comes out, goes for a Sludge Bomb on the Kingdra, but unfortunately protected. Pollen Puff onto the Hitmonlee does 35, which is actually a lot in my opinion, as Knockoff gets rid of the Life Orb on the Victory Bell. Solar Beam gets rid of the Hitmonlee, as well as the Pollen Puff, tries to heal up the Victory Bell, but Lucy basically kills himself with the, Pollen Puff again. This time Lucy kills himself from the Scald onto the Ribombee with the Life Orb. We go to the next one where we have Polly taking on the Wall Breakers, and let me take a sip real quick. That's so much better. But anyway, the Wall Breakers are taking on Polly. Wall Breakers brought Alola, Ninetales, Kyurem, White, Clawitzer, Hippowdon, Pangoro, and Mesprit, while Polly brought Mega Manectric, Delphox, Ditto, Araquanid, Conkeldurr, and Registeel. Ditto and Registeel start off against Alola, Ninetales, and Kyurem White. Snow Warning and Turbo Blaze as we also see Imposter on the Ditto. Protect, which helps protect against Blizzard, obviously. We see Aurora Veil and Iron Head doing a lot of damage to the Ninetales, however not able to kill because of the Aurora Veil. Ninetales switches out into Clawitzer as he goes for another Blizzard, does 29 to the Kyurem, but it doesn't really matter, as Draco Meteor takes out the Ditto in turn 2. Iron Head onto the Kyurem does 20%, which hail damage is doing its thing against the Registeel and Clawitzer. Mankey evolved on the Manectric that came in, goes for a Volt Switch. I don't know why he did it on the Kyurem, but that only did 10%. Araquanid comes out on the Devastating Drake, does 55, and he heals the Kyurem back up to full health, as Ironhead was only doing another quarter damage. Helping Hand onto the Kyurem, trying to get rid of this Araquanid, and does with a Draco Meteor at the expense of his special attack, as Toxics the Kyurem White, which will whittle it down little by little. Manectric comes out yet again, gets another Intimidate, switches out into Mesprit as well as a Hippowdon as a Volt Switch. I'm not going to do a thing to the Hippowdon as Stealth Rocks come out, which will help against the Kyurem if it comes out again. Volt Switch on the Mesprit, still with Aurora Veil up, but unfortunately it had the red card, switches out into Mesprit as now Hippowdon is toxic, but it had the Lumberry and goes for a Curse. As we see set up by both mods, but Grass not able to kill because the Aurora Veil is still up, and Calm Mind again on the Mesprit, but this time Registeel toxic the Mesprit. Earthquake gets rid of the Delphox, but the Registeel actually lives, as we see Leftover still doing its thing for him. Manectric comes out yet again, goes for the Hidden Power Ice, which gets rid of the Hippowdon. As a Psychic, it gets rid of the Manectric, as we see Rest on the Registeel, and we see 5 versus 2 now in favor of the Wall Breakers, as Conkeldurr comes out, as well as Clawitzer. Psychic on the Conkeldurr takes it out in just one shot as Heal Pulse brings the Mesprit back up to full health, as we see the Registeel is still asleep. Helping Hand again with a Thunderbolt brings it down to almost half. The Registeel is still asleep. Calm Mind yet again, as this time Water Pulse only does 20%. We see that the Registeel is confused, however it does wake up but does go for the rest, just wasting turns like a dick. Polly, no, I'm kidding Polly, don't worry. Thunderbolt's not going to do a whole lot. Heal Pulse brings the Mesprit back up to full, as Registeel is now up at 68%. Decides to switch out into Pangoro with a Water Pulse, trying to get the Registeel as low as possible. Goes for a Helping Hand and a Drain Punch, getting rid of the Registeel in turn 14. So the second to last battle, we have the Rapidash taking on the Registeelers. Rapidash is brought Darkrai, Mega Beedrill, Snorlax, Hoopa, Vaporeon, and Dragalge, while the Rich Steelers brought Scrafty, Typhlosion for the first time ever, Nidoqueen, Mega Blastoise, Raichu, and Honchkrow. See Scrafty taking and Typhlosion taking on Vaporeon and Dragalge. For the first time he's been out there, he did not like the matchup, switches out into the Mega Blastoise as they fake out onto the Dragalge. Takes it pretty nicely as Surf hits all three. Hoopa comes out as Mega evolves and goes for Protect, does not knowing what he wants to do. Knockoff gets rid of the Focus Sash on the Dragalge as Draco Meteor's not going to do a thing. Thunderbolt's not going to do anything to the incoming Nidoqueen as it just dies to a knockoff, getting rid of the Expert Belt, as Draco Meteor does pretty good damage to the Nidoqueen as Snorlax comes out, goes for a Brick Break on the Snorlax with Nidoqueen as Drain Punch not able to kill, only does 40%, but does get him back up to full health. Sludge Wave hits all three as Heavy Slam takes out the Nidoqueen, tying it up at 5 versus 5. Mega Blastoise comes out, goes for an Aura Sphere on the Snorlax. Mega Beedrill's hard swapped in, takes a Ice Punch to the face, ate it pretty nicely for Mega Beedrill as he does Mega Evolve and goes for a U-turn on the Wrongmon as he goes for Protect. As Wish on the Vaporeon, gets rid of the leftovers with the knockoff. Switches out into Dragalge as a U-turn. Right back out into Vaporeon, goes for a Water Pulse with the Water Absorb. Very, very nice play there by the Rapidashes. Basically getting Dragalge up for free as well as getting the Vaporeon's health up as well. As I said as well a bunch of times in that sentence. Aura Sphere does 20% to the Vaporeon. Surf doesn't really do a whole lot to anything. As Vaporeon's now down to 20% as Draco Meteor brings the Blastoise down to 8% as he goes for Aura Sphere, again trying to kill the Vaporeon, but unfortunately not going to be able to do that as Surf not able to take out anything because of the special attack drop. Switches out into Darkrai, another hard swap into Darkrai. Vaporeon dies to the Aura Sphere as Darkrai eats an Ice Punch. Luckily he did not get frozen as we see leftovers on the Darkrai. Goes out into a Thunderbolt, the Raichu, as he does eat a U-turn because of Sash and gets paralyzed because of Static, which is very unfortunate, as Darkrai takes out the Mega Blastoise with Dark Pulse. Honchkrow comes out, goes for a Protect, trying to bring in the attack as Wild Charge, not able to take out the Darkrai, but Raichu kills himself as Sludge Wave kills his own Darkrai, which is very unfortunate. As Mega Beedrill does come out, so does Scrafty. So tries to go for a Sucker Punch, but instead a Tailwind from the Mega Beedrill. Ice Punch not able to take out their Dragalge, but Draco Meteor is able to take out the Honchkrow, leaving it 2 versus 2. Still has a chance, but unfortunately it is Scarfed Typhlosion and takes them both out with an Eruption. Excuse me, one more time. I should really bring water to all my recordings. So much better. Next up we have the Twenta Tentacles taking on the Miami Magikarps. Magikarps brought the Naganadel, Ambipom, Charizard, Mega Pidgeot, Ferrothorn, and Zygarde 10%, while the Tentacles brought Zygarde 50%, Mega Beyonce, Incineroar, Tangela, Empoleon, and Wigglytuff. Ambipom and Charizard started off against Incineroar and Empoleon. Gets the Intimidate, which is very useful for the Ambipom. Goes for a Protect, which will help against the Fake Out. So you see Sunny Day on the Charizard, as Scald does 37%, which is still pretty good, and we see the Solar Power damage doing its thing against Charizard. Zygarde comes in as he roosts on the Charizard. Empoleon decides to go for an Icy Wind, slowing down both the Zygarde that came in and the Sunny Day, this Charizard. As you see Inferno Overdrive taking out the Zygarde in one turn, as you see Solar Power damage doing its thing yet again. Naganadel comes out, goes for Protect on the Incineroar, but a Flamethrower on the Empoleon does do about a third of its damage. Heat Wave does another 40%. Bulldoze does do a pretty good amount of damage to the Naganadel, but mainly slows it down, which is very important. Switches out into the Deontay. There's another Heat Wave, unfortunately misses the Incineroar, but still does 40% to the Deontay, as Dragon Balls does 56, as we see a Snarl lowering the special attack on both of those mons, which is really big to see. As now Mega Evolution, Protect on the Incineroar, trying to draw an attack, but it doesn't matter because they both die to a Diamond Storm, and it also gets the defense boost for Deontay. Ambibomb comes out as well as Mega Pidgeot, switches out into Wigglytuff from the Incineroar, sees what item the Ambibomb and Pidgeot have, although we probably could have guessed that anyway. Fake Out's not going to do a thing to the Deontay as Wigglytuff takes the Hurricane and also gets confused and hurts himself with the confusion. And so Hurricane onto the Deontay as well as an Ice Punch takes it out, which is huge. As Wigglytuff has leftovers, as we see the Intimidate on the Incineroar yet again, goes for a Protect, trying to draw in some attacks, as we see the Hurricane and return on the Wigglytuff, not able to kill it, and Wigglytuff actually goes for a Toxic on the Pidgeot. Hurricane again, this time kills the Incineroar, as well as return takes out the Wigglytuff, and we see a 3 versus 3 now, but with Pidgeot poisoned, but also the Empoleon has only 30% damage left. Zygarde goes for a Protect, as we see a Hurricane, as well as an Ice Punch, which would have taken it out. However, Icy Wind slows down both the Ambipom and the Pidgeot, which will allow the Zygarde to go for an extreme speed. For some reason that's important, but Hurricane and Ambipom is still faster than the Empoleon, but however Scald is able to take out the Ambipom, and now Pidgeot is only at 9% health. Lows out in Ferrothorn, we have 2 versus 2 as Tangela comes out, goes for a Protect, doesn't want to die to a Hurricane, but instead he goes for a Roost. But very nice play here by the Tentacles, go for a Icy Wind, which allows Pidgeot to get even slower, which that even allows the Empoleon to take out the Mega Pidgeot, and that basically just means Tangela is able to 1v1 this Ferrothorn with Hidden Power Fire, which Ferrothorn's trying to get his health back up, goes for a Protect, trying to get his health up even more. However, it's not going to really matter. Empoleon does in fact die to Leech Seed, but Ferrothorn needs like 70% health, tries to go for a double Protect. It does work, and he goes up to 65%, he's just 5 short, or else he would have been able to go for a Gyro Ball, and unfortunately it's not going to happen. But anyway, we'll go over to the standings right now. We'll start off with the blue. We have the first 3 eliminations and 4 clinches. I don't think I went over that last week. But anyway, Lycanrocs are 3 and 7. They are officially eliminated. Poly, Solar Beams, and Gligards are all 4 and 6. They are 2 away from the Magikarps. They would need the Magikarps to lose 2, as well as they need to win 2, so that they can have a tie with them, and maybe that tie will help them win. Gudras, they are 5 and 5, just 1 game behind the Magikarps, which are currently 4th at 6 and 4. The Registeel and Wild Meowth are both 7 and 3. Kartanas are 8 and 2, leading that division. Over to the red division, we have the Beedrills and Heracross, both eliminated with a 2 and 8 record. The Tentacles and Rapidashes are still technically in playoff contention, but they would need a tie with the Bouffalants. Actually, Tentacles are able to win the last 2, and the Bouffalants lose the last 2. They have the head-to-head against the Bouffalants, so the Bouffalants would need the Rapidashes to win 2 as well, because they have a win, and the Bouffalants have a better differential. Magmitans unfortunately lost, so they're no longer tied with the Bouffalants. They are 4 and 6, but only 1 game out with 2 games left. Bouffalants are the only red division team that has not yet clinched, and with the loss last week before the Infernape, the Wall Breakers are now in 2nd, and the Tauros are still number 1 with a very, very good record differential and a 9 and 1 record. We'll go over to the Pick'ems. That means the least out of the rest. Rocky's at 22, Tempest 23, Silent and Geeko at 24, Mike at 29. As I get the hiccup, Killer at 34, Polly at 37, Pearl 38, Lucy 39, Twenta falls from 3rd to 5th with 45, Icarus with 46, Omega 47, Hoobie is at 51, and Buffalo is the first one at 60. Month of the week is a 3-way tie between Pelipper, Silvally, and Landorus Eye from the Tauros Solar Beams. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. And the Bouffalons. I rank this as most impressive to least impressive. I figure that Pelipper getting 3 kills is way more impressive than the Landorus and Silvally. Of course, that's my opinion, so you can fight me all you want. I don't care. Second to last, we have the league leaders. Jellison at a 4.562. Mega Steelix is at a 4.6, both from the Goodras. Goodras have been most defensive team here. Actually, no, I lied. That's Lycanrocs. Magikarp of the Ferrothorn is at 4.7. Togekiss is at 4.71. Pissimian, who has not been used since like week 2, is at 4.83. Alolan Persian is at a 5, as well as Amogus is also at 5. Karen White is at 5.07. Arcanine is at 5.29, and Mudsdale is currently leading with a 5.78. And I just want to remind everyone that just because Mudsdale is on top of the defensive league leaders does not mean that he's going to be the defensive MVP. If this is what it looks like at the end of the season, I'm probably going to give that title to Arcanine, just because how it looks. But anyway, we have H/, in Torkoal and Goodra, all with 11 kills. Oh my, I'm sorry about this. Copy. And there we go. That's more like it. Oops. Okay. Celesteela, Venusaur, Kyurem White, and Mega Swampert all at 12 kills. Mega Alexander is the only 14 kill mon on this list. And as we see, we have Genesect and Heatran at 15 kills. Go over to the schedule now with the last part of this. Let me just pull it up on my Discord. Pick'ems. This way I can read it and let you guys know. Read it a little bit easier. First up, we have the Kartanas versus the Heracross. I am picking the Kartanas, and that is my lock pick. Goodras versus Magnemitons. I am picking the Goodras. Wild Meowth versus Tauros. And I'm going with the Tauros. Gotta support her. Registealers and Wall Breakers. I got the Registealers. Glygars and Rapidashes. I got the Glygars. Tentacools and Politoads. Going with the Tentacools. The Politoads have not been doing well the last couple weeks. Magikarps and Bouffalons. Going with, gotta represent myself, Lycanrocs and Infernapes, going to go with the Infernapes, and Solar Beams versus the Beedrills, I'm going with the Solar Beams. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.